Hello everybody. It is Thursday, the 9th of December. I want to think about churches and the problem with churches at the moment and how to build a true church, because that's what we need to do right now. Now, I have come to this place where I'm sat in my kitchen and I have seen this new perception of the teaching of the Bible. I've seen that it is that there are two parts, the Creator and God, and that those two parts interact to create. So you need two. I've seen how this book is being taught wrongly. I've seen the intention of the God of the Bible, which is pretty much on the second page, I think, of the book. To possess, to rule over, and to have dominion. I can see how this intention is working division and destruction in this world. If we become its servants, the image of it, we become destroyers. I've seen the two-edged sword in the New Testament. The two different ways. The one, be in this world, not of this world, which lead to the forming of the capstone. And the other teaching of continuously give to each other. Ask and you shall be given, and continuously give to each other. So I'm sat here in my kitchen with that perspective, and I'm trying to convey that to other people. But knowledge does not exist for its own sake. You can convey the knowledge, but at some point it needs to do a works, because that's what it's there for. It should work something. So, and I said, I am actually recoiling from the word church because of the way it is being worked at the moment. Church being a place where people come together to because they are of one belief, and they're being strengthened in that belief from the pulpit, from above. And right now the belief that is being conveyed, well, there are two main ways that are being conveyed at the moment. One is the churches that teach that you are nothing and God is almighty, and never the twain shall meet unless it is in the book of Revelation in full on destruction. So they work division. They work division between you and God. They create fear. Then there's the other church that says everything is possible, and you can have the riches of this world, and everybody is strengthened in that belief, but they're not being taught to give to each other. The riches usually go to the pastor, and he can then buy himself the third jet to spread the good word even further. So that's why I'm recoiling from the word church, because of what it is now. And in the end it says in the book of Thomas, do not worship me in buildings of stone and wood. Split a piece of wood and you will find me. Lift a stone and I am there. And that is the Creator speaking. I am that which creates life. I am life. There is no separation. You are made of this stuff. You are that stuff. You are. There's no separation between you and the Creator. And it is what you find when you lift a stone. You find life. You may not like that life very much, but it is life, and it fulfills a function in the whole, the creepy crawlies. And you should not judge that life, because it does fulfill a function through which in the end you receive. Now the other thing is the internet, where you have online churches. Again, I think it is a medium that does work in a way division, because you can convey words, you can convey thoughts, but I don't think emotions travel very well through this medium. I mean, words can convey emotions, but you would have to be one hell of a poet to do it. And I'm not a poet. I'm rather factual. I'm not poetic. Although I know, and I knew from the start, which is what set me off on this path in the first place, the realization that what thoughts came to me were not all my thoughts, that I was connected to something else. And I still know that. And I think that, by giving your perspective, you are connecting. Your emotions may not travel, but they kind of create at the other end. Your words create emotions at the other end. And yeah, I believe there is a true internet of emotional pathways through which we are connected. But it is very much like a long distance phone call when you don't even know who's on the other end. I mean, it does help. The thought does help that you are connected to something somewhere else, but you're still sat in your room, not actually seeing, not actually interacting directly, which is much more powerful than the long distance phone call. So really we must come together. I mean, a church is in the end people coming together under one thought, with one intention. Yeah? And the intention should be to give to life. And that is the other way that Jesus taught: continuously give to one another. Give to that, and don't judge. And again, don't judge does not mean throw all judgment out of the window and jump off a cliff. It means don't judge the needs of others. You should give to their needs. I mean, that's what the miracles did. The healing, the feeding. It gave to a need. And he did not judge that need. Means he did not ask how that person got into the mess that he or she was in. Because we all get ourselves into a mess now and again. But only give to correct it without judgment. It also means that when we come together and we speak, we do not judge what the others are seeing. I mean, even if you were to have a church, that is, you were in one room with the same baseline understanding, which is the understanding of the Creator. And this is created to give to life. So if you come together under that understanding, and the intention to give to life, there'll still be multiple ideas of how this could be done, because we're talking out of ourselves, and we see different things. And then again, do not judge what another person is saying, but just take the idea that is working best at the moment, and don't judge the other ideas as wrong. It's just they cannot serve at this moment. They might serve in a different circumstance, so don't forget about them. So that would be a true church, where people do that. Come together under the understanding, with an intention, and strengthening each other, yes, in our belief, and also finding ways. Because that's what we are the sons, we are the ways. And as I said, don't judge each other's way, just find the one that works best at the moment. What should you do now? Where should you do it? Where is need that you could do something for? A true church would actually be an awful lot more works than it would be, fellowshipping. Although the fellowship is important because you need to be strengthened so you can go out and do the works. So that would be a true church. So when you come in this room, you strengthen each other. You talk about ways. You go out into the world to do the works and to spread the message. What you do not do in that room are two things, or actually one thing you do not do in that room. Two things. One is you do not worship. You absolutely do not worship. Because that again is the thought of division. And worship means you are less than it. And that is not the case. That's the wrong perception. You are it. And you receive of it. And it doesn't judge you. The other way of coming together, and there's the really important bit, and I don't know how that should be done, is you should not come together to grab at this I want. So it's there are now a lot of it, and we all want the same thing. It's funny, I read the Aquarian Gospel, and in the end there were all the different perceptions. There was Hinduism, there was, I don't know, Jesus was there and some others. And they came together, and what they actually did is they sat in silence for a long time, which means they sat there and let it come to them. Yeah? They connected to each other and then they let it come to them, rather than having a discussion about what should be done next or something. In that book, that's not what they did. They just sat there and in unison, in silence, and let it come to them, which is an interesting thought. And I think that might be the way. I have a feeling the Quakers do it that way. Anyway, so that to me would be a church, but it really must be worked on a local level. First of all, people must physically come together to have the direct impact of thoughts and emotions, so you can directly give to one another. And it is also that, because it is the works that are so important, you have local knowledge of what should be done. And there is where you have the true knowledge of what should be done. You can do something in Africa, but if you're not in Africa, you don't know exactly what they actually need according to themselves. And there's a real good chance you're giving the wrong thing out of not knowing them. So really it must be local. It should be local. There's where you have the most knowledge and the best chance of doing the right thing. So, and this is where I'm stuck now. Because honest to God, I don't know anybody here. I've spent all my life concentrated on my family. I did not go out socializing. So I'm sorry. See, this is why you shouldn't get emotional, because it really doesn't help. Right. So that is my problem. I'm sat here with a thought and nobody here to give it to or to do the works of that thought. But if you are out there and you have been socializing and you have connections, then that is what you must do. I cannot do that for you. I can only give you the thought, my perspective on this. If you believe this is true, then you must do the works. Anyway, I leave it at this, and I talk to you again soon.